After his quiet talk, William sat alone, tears tracing paths down his cheeks. Diana noticed right away, her soft glance speaking volumes. Yet she gave him space. In that fragile moment, she understood something deeper, something no one else could see. By 1992, the marriage between Charles and Diana had quietly unraveled. Though still bound by duty, they lived increasingly separate lives, each retreated into their own world behind the royal facade. Publicly, they kept up appearances, attending official events hand in hand, smiles fixed, composure unwavering. But young William felt the fragile tension between his parents. He noticed how their eyes rarely met and how their conversations seemed clipped and rehearsed. The warmth they once shared was missing. This distance was not just physical but emotional, a quiet, palpable fracture beneath the surface. William struggled to understand it fully, sensing the weight of unspoken words and silent glances. This quiet unease settled into their family life, shaping his childhood in ways he couldn't yet name. It left a deep sense of something broken, yet unspoken. Diana had known about Charles' affair with Camilla long before their marriage. It was a secret she carried with quiet dignity and deep sorrow. She never mentioned Camilla's name to William or Harry, protecting them from pain too complex for their young hearts. Still, William could feel the weight of this hidden sorrow pressing on their family. It was like a shadow lurking beneath the polished surface of royal life. Though he didn't know the full story, he sensed the unspoken grief and betrayal Diana silently endured. Her silence was a fragile shield, a way to hold her sons close while bearing her own heartbreak. This delicate balance of love and loss shaped William's early years. It taught him to read between the lines and feel what was left unsaid. It was a lesson in resilience, quietly introducing him to the adult pain hidden behind royal duties. William had an uncanny ability to sense the emotional temperature in any room, a sensitivity that set him apart even as a child. He noticed silences that stretched too long and the staged interactions between his parents that felt rehearsed rather than genuine. Though he lacked full details, his young mind pieced together fragments of tension and distance like a puzzle with missing pieces. He watched Charles and Diana closely, trying to understand what lay beneath their polite smiles and measured words. Every avoided glance and quiet moment told a story he could feel but not fully grasp. This growing awareness brought confusion, mixed with a deep, instinctive sense that something was broken. William was learning to navigate a world where love and pain coexisted silently, shaping his sense of family in profound, unspoken ways. This emotional acuity, rare for his age, foreshadowed the empathy and resilience he would carry into adulthood. On a crisp autumn day, Charles and William shared a private conversation that lasted barely 20 minutes. Yet its weight lingered far longer in the boy's heart. The room was quiet, the unspoken words heavy in the air. Charles spoke gently but firmly about the impending end of their marriage and its public scrutiny. William listened intently, his young face showing little, but something inside him shifted deeply. When he left the room, he was changed, composed on the outside, but carrying a new silent burden. The gravity of that talk settled deep within him, marking a turning point he could not yet fully grasp. It was a moment of unspoken truths, a subtle passing of royal duty, and the start of William's deeper awareness of the fragile, publicly uncertain world around him. This conversation planted seeds of emotional maturity far beyond his years, setting the stage for challenges he would face in the years ahead. Later that evening, Diana heard the soft, almost imperceptible sound of William crying quietly in his room. She waited patiently, giving him space to let the tears fall and the silence deepen. Eventually, he drifted into a restless sleep. Only then did she gently approach his door, her heart heavy with empathy and silent understanding. She knew the pain he carried, even though he couldn't yet name or fully understand its source. Without intrusion, she offered her presence, a quiet comfort in the darkness, a mother's love that spoke louder than words. Diana's careful attentiveness revealed a profound bond, forged in shared sorrow and unspoken understanding. In that tender moment, she became a steady anchor for William, silently holding him through the storm of emotions he was just beginning to face. This gentle presence was a rare refuge in a life often shaped by public expectations and private pain. Harry, only 8 years old, stood quietly nearby. He sensed the tension filling the house but couldn't understand its source. His young eyes caught subtle shifts in mood and a quiet sadness lingering just beneath the surface, like an unspoken secret. Deanna noticed his curious, worried gaze and gently knelt to meet him at eye level. Her voice was soft and reassuring. With a tender smile, she offered comfort without revealing the full weight of their troubles. She chose her words carefully to protect his innocence. Then, placing a gentle hand on his shoulder, she sent him back to bed. She shielded him from the storm of adult emotions swirling around. In this way, Diana balanced holding her younger son close while carrying the heavy burden of their fractured family alone. Her protective love was a silent promise to guard him from pain as long as possible. When Diana found William in his quiet corner, he softly insisted, "I'm fine." But she sensed a tremor beneath his words, a fragile veil hiding deeper feelings. She sat beside him, close enough for their arms to brush, a silent invitation to share more without pressure. Slowly, William repeated the words Charles had told him about their marriage's difficulties, about duty and the uncertain future ahead. Each phrase carried a weight far beyond his years, a heavy legacy to bear. Deanna listened, her heart heavy with what William was trying to understand and what he still couldn't fully grasp. The tension between reassurance and harsh reality filled the air, a delicate balance of hope and sorrow. In that moment, mother and son shared a fragile connection, bridging the gap between innocence and the complex truths of their fractured world. After a pause, William's voice softened, admitting the truth he had kept hidden. "I'm upset." Diana reached out, her hand resting gently on his arm, a quiet affirmation of his feelings. She told him that sadness was not a weakness, not something to be feared or hidden, but a part of truth, an honest reflection of the heart. This was a lesson different from his father's stoic counsel, a gentle reminder that emotions are vital, not a flaw. In that tender moment, Diana gave William permission to feel deeply, to acknowledge pain without shame. It was a rare and precious gift, one that would shape his understanding of strength and vulnerability for years to come, teaching him that to be truly strong, one must also be honest with oneself. By embracing this vulnerability, William began to realize that emotional openness could foster deeper connections with others, allowing for empathy and compassion to grow where once there had been only guarded reserve. How might an early moment of emotional validation shape a child destined for public life? Think about the power of honest support during times of struggle. Could this gentle understanding change how someone faces the world's unrelenting pressures? Share your thoughts below. Diana met William's admission with her own quiet truth. She confessed that she too was sad. No grand declarations, just a simple honesty shared between mother and son. This admission broke through the tension, creating a rare moment of shared vulnerability. In that fragile moment, they found solace in each other's company, a mutual comfort that needed no words. It was as if the weight of their unspoken emotions had been lifted, even if just slightly, allowing them to breathe more freely in the presence of one another. Outside their small bubble, the world carried on, unaware of the fragile emotions threading through the royal family's private life. Yet within that room, a profound connection blossomed, a testament to the strength found in vulnerability. Diana's choice to be open, to share her sadness, gave William permission not only to feel, but to lean on her, forging a bond that would carry them through the challenges ahead and turning their pain into a source of quiet strength. After learning of William's quiet tears, Diana confronted Charles with a fierce maternal resolve. She challenged his stoic approach, refusing to accept that their son should simply suppress his sadness. "William needs to feel, to grieve," she said, her voice steady yet full of emotion. "Sadness is not weakness, it's truth. We cannot ask him to be numb to what he's living." Diana's words went beyond a plea. They demanded compassion in a world that often valued restraint over emotional honesty. Charles listened, his stoic facade briefly cracking as her words hit home. This was more than a disagreement. It was a clash of emotional beliefs. Diana's defense of William's right to express pain stood as a bold statement against the cold expectations of royal duty. In that tense moment, the battle for their son's emotional future unfolded quietly but powerfully, marking a shift in how their family might embrace vulnerability going forward. Diana confronted Charles with quiet urgency, speaking candidly about their fractured marriage. She said it was fragile beyond what the public saw. Diana insisted William would one day deserve the truth, a full understanding of their family's hardships and complexities. For now, she urged Charles to shift his focus. William needed emotional support, not lessons in stoicism. "He's just a boy," she reminded him softly, her voice full of tenderness and resolve. "He needs us to be present, to help him navigate this pain with honesty and care." Her plea hung in the air, challenging the cold protocols that often ruled their lives. Diana's message was clear. William's emotional well-being required more than silence and distance. It needed genuine compassion and openness from both parents. She stressed that shielding him might protect him briefly, but could leave lasting scars. She highlighted the importance of nurturing his resilience through shared vulnerability and trust. The next morning, Charles quietly entered William's room, careful not to disturb the fragile mood that had settled overnight. Instead of heavy words or royal demands, he spoke gently about everyday school matters, upcoming lessons, friends, and small routines that grounded their lives. This simple conversation, free from the weight of family troubles, created a meaningful bridge between father and son. William listened, surprise flickering in his eyes, sensing something different in his father's tone and presence. It was an unspoken truce, a tentative step toward connection amid their fractured reality. In that quiet exchange, Charles showed a subtle shift, offering presence over protocol. It was a glimpse of emotional openness, hinting at healing and a new way forward for their family. Though small, this moment carried the weight of hope, showing how even strained relationships can renew through simple, sincere acts of care and understanding. The morning light found William feeling a little lighter, though not yet healed. At breakfast, Harry looked up and quietly asked, "Are you okay?" It was a simple question, but carried the weight of brotherly concern and kindness. William nodded, grateful for this small moment of normalcy amid their family's struggles. As he sipped his tea and tasted the familiar toast, a brief sense of relief washed over him. It was a momentary pause in the emotional storm surrounding them. This wasn't a fix, not yet, but a fragile breath before the day's challenges began. In these quiet moments, William found a glimpse of peace, held gently between the ordinary and the turmoil beyond the kitchen door. It was a testament to the small yet powerful support of family. These simple acts of caring, often overlooked, were the threads holding their family together. They gave William just enough strength to face what lay ahead. Now a husband and father himself, William has embraced remarkable openness about mental health and grief. He has broken long-held taboos within the royal family. His willingness to speak candidly reflects the deep lessons Diana taught him through her compassionate care during his childhood. The sensitivity she nurtured, the permission to feel and be vulnerable, has become a defining trait in his adulthood. This approach contrasts sharply with the traditional royal reserve and marks a significant cultural shift. It changes how emotional struggles are addressed publicly. Through his advocacy, he honors Diana's legacy by encouraging others to confront their pain honestly and seek support without shame. He often shares stories and participates in campaigns that highlight mental well-being. These efforts help normalize conversations around these important issues. This emotional courage, born from tender moments long ago, shows how profoundly Diana's influence shaped both his private world and his public mission. William's journey underscores the enduring power of empathy and the healing strength found in embracing truth. He transforms personal pain into collective hope. That night, Diana sat quietly with William as he cried, offering a presence both gentle and steadfast. She showed profound courage by confronting Charles about the emotional toll on their son. This was a bold defiance of the rigid, cold expectations within the royal institution. In an environment where outward emotion was often suppressed, especially for men, Diana's actions were revolutionary. They highlighted the vital need to openly address emotional pain. Her pioneering empathy and unwavering care shaped not only William's resilience, but also carved a new path for emotional authenticity in public life. She showed that genuine connection, not stoicism, is the true measure of fortitude. This profound shift, sparked by a single tender moment, continues to resonate beyond the family. It reveals the quiet power of love and honesty in facing adversity. Diana's legacy remains a universal beacon for anyone striving to embrace emotional truth against prevailing norms. Diana's enduring legacy reveals the deep power of maternal love and emotional honesty. Through her quiet strength, she demonstrated that vulnerability is true courage. This lesson continues to inspire hope and understanding across generations. If stories like Diana's quiet strength resonate with you, follow us for more heartfelt portraits of public figures. Together, we'll explore the emotions and experiences that connect us all beyond headlines and history.